coming at you live from America's podcast studio. Eric the Turf Teacher Jones, the landscape contractor and green industry platform for success. This is the Podscape, brought to you by LMN Software.
And welcome to episode number 2 of the Podscape, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to discuss what it's like being a green industry entrepreneur and having a business plan. What is a business plan? Well, that's tonight's topic. We're going to talk about the benefits of it. We're going to talk about the components of what's inside that business plan, why you should have one for each segment of your green industry. So if you're a lawn care operation, you need to have that business plan for that lawn care division. If you're in design build or you're getting ready to start a design build division, you need to have one for that. If you're going to have one for snow removal, one for Christmas lighting, the whole 9 yards. I like having companies within companies. And then we're going to talk about some of the bad things that can happen to you if you don't have this business plan in place. So that is the topic of episode number 2. Before we get started today, I want to give a big shout out to LMN Software because none of this would be possible without them. I've personally been using their software in my own company, and so far it's been a complete game changer for my business. LMN is the most comprehensive landscape business management software in the industry. From budgeting, estimating, CRM, time tracking, and so much more, it's a simple do-it tool for your landscape business and provides a platform to scale your company to the next level. And the best part about LMN is they have a free version, which you can begin using today if you choose to. Just visit golmn.com/free to learn more and start taking advantage of the software that's helped me grow my business into a successful, sustainable, and profitable company. That's golmn.com/free. golmn.com/free.
Eric the Turf Teacher Jones. Oh, yeah! Teaching you life lessons, business strategies, and leadership.
Let's grow together.
So are you ready to do some growing together? Well, let's jump right into what it's like being a green industry entrepreneur. Every day you guys wake up with that fuel, that desire to get up and go and make your own money. That's what it's about. Your livelihood is 100% dependent on you, nobody else. Nobody else. When you're sick, when you don't feel good, when you just want to lay in bed a little bit longer, you can't because your business is 100% dependent on you. And if you don't show up for work, a lot of the stuff is not going to get done that needs to be gotten done. And that's just the way it is. I mean, we want to have our employees work as hard as we do, and that's just never going to be the case. And we're even a little bit naive to that, or maybe not naive, but I would say a little bit crazy to think that they are going to work as hard as us. I mean, they're not bringing home as much money as you are. Now, granted, there are times when you set up at night and you're like, oh my gosh, how am I going to make payroll? You're Thursday night, you're sitting there hoping that there is a payment that gets deposited into your bank account. And you're sitting there, oh, I can cover payroll tomorrow. Yes, we all go through that. We all do go through that. But we have every opportunity to really making something with our business. And that's why we took this entrepreneurship route. Why did we do it? Knowing that so many businesses each year fail. And they fail because of poor planning. They fail because of insufficient management skills. They don't know how to deal with employees. They may not know how to deal with customers. But that's why they fail. The top reasons that they fail is the poor sales. They're not getting enough income coming in. They don't know how to market their business. So how do you get that new work? They have too high of a operational cost that they're paying too much money on. They can't collect invoices. They have problems keeping enough inventory They're not in the right location, which that may not affect us being in the green industry. Especially if we're if we're running a lawn care business or we're running a landscape business, location may not matter so much. But if you're a retail garden center, you want that highway business. You want people driving by every single day. You got too many fixed assets, and then you got your employees stealing from you, whether it be equipment out of the shop, whether it's the office manager stealing money from you. Fraud happens all the time. I got a friend down the road, had his office manager steal like $30,000 from him. She opened up credit cards in the business name, all kinds of charge accounts, and then just up and quit. Walked away. Turned into a nasty court battle. He's having a fight to get that money back. But poor sales. Poor sales. Why are you not closing the deal? Are you too high? Are you too low? A lot of times people aren't going to hire the cheapest person out there. They're not. You're not doing the right marketing. If you're not got your landscape business on social media, then you need to be. Now, guys, there's a big difference between being an influencer within the green industry and having a huge social media presence out there for your customers. It's more important that you have customers following you than other landscape companies. I see the benefits of both. But what's going to bring you the money? Clients. So you need to target your social media posts towards getting new clients. Bring up that marketing. Teach customers what they need to be doing in their yard this time of year. You don't need to tell your buddies how to sharpen lawnmower blades. You need to tell your customers about the benefits of liming your yard this time of year and doing that soil test. High operation expenses. You don't need $70,000 trucks pulling your lawnmower trailer. You don't. You don't need the big four-wheel drive, four-door, dually, jacked up $70,000 truck to pull a little bitty lawnmower trailer. Don't have your expenses too high that you're not able to make payments, especially during the winter months. And this one right here drives me crazy. Not able to collect payments. Oh my gosh. People are so used to paying online. Guys, you do not need to lick a stamp and mail an invoice out ever. You need to email it to them, and there needs to be a link within that email that they can pay. Whether you're using QuickBooks, whether you're using LMN software to bill your customers in their customer portal where they can log in and pay, that's what people do. We see it all the time because there are some customers that we have that don't have email addresses, and we're not able to email them that payment. So we got to lick the stamp and send it to them. Yes, they're going to pay within 30 days, but the ones that have the email address, you get paid the day you send it out, 9 times out of 10. Inventory. Only order what you need. Order it for the month, for the week. I know a lot of our vendors, they come by all the time. If you're going to be putting out 3 pallets of fertilizer this week, only order 3 or order it in 2-week increments or for the month, however you want to do it. But don't run out of inventory and don't order too much that you're going to have to sit on it for a year. This happens a lot this time of year when people order ice melt. They're ordering 5 and 6 pallets, and we only get 1 snow event or 1 inclement weather event, and they only need to use a pallet. Well, that's the one thing that you can't send back to your distributor or for your, to the company you bought it from. They're like, nah, ice melt, once you buy it, it's yours. Where you have your business at. Like I said, location is very, very important if you have a retail garden center or a retail design center. But if you're cutting grass or you're a lawn care operator or a nursery or whatever, you can be off the beaten path a little bit. And then watch your employees. Trust them. Hire the ones that you can trust. But you as the owner, you need to be in the books all the time, knowing what's going on. And, of course, don't have too many fixed assets. And so what is the true definition of being an entrepreneur? Well, it is the person who is engaged in a strategic activity that initiates the development of a new business, which your main goal is to build long-term value and steady cash flow. That's what you want to do. That's what an entrepreneur is. Engaging in strategic activities that initiates the development of a new business to bring you long-term value and steady cash flow. That last 3 words right there, steady cash flow. You can borrow from Peter to pay Paul for 2 years. That's called operating on negative cash flow. You can do it for 2 years. That's what my accountant has always said. Arnold Moser, love him to death. But he said, Eric, at the end of that 2 years, if you're still borrowing from Peter to pay Paul, it comes to a screeching halt because there is no more. It takes 2 years, and you're wiped out, done. And as an entrepreneur, we really must weigh all of the rewards and drawbacks of beginning a business. So what are some of the drawbacks? What are some of the rewards? I've got a list of them here. Some of them may or may not be a reward for you, and some of them may not be a challenge for you. I look at all of them, and I'm like, yeah, man, this is pretty cool stuff. Rewards, yeah, you're your own boss. You don't listen to nobody. You listen to your customers. You do. They're the boss. And you have to let your employees know that is the true boss, your customer list. You may have a flexible schedule. Yes, I can take some time off and go see my kids' swim meet. I can do that if it's during the day or on a Saturday morning. I can do that. But that flexible schedule, it carries on over into the night. Stanley the Dirt Monkey, one of my best friends, I love him to death. He's like, Eric, you talk about working long and hard. And we always talk about, the green industry is not 9 to 5. You reverse those numbers. It's 5 to 9. 5 a.m. in the morning to 9 p.m. at night. You don't have a 9 to 5. You have a 5 to 9 job. Reverse those numbers. You do got some freedom. You do have some independence that you can, do a little more than you could if you were, in an office all day long. You can make decisions about your future very easily. You don't have to ask anybody. But I think the most rewarding is receiving personal satisfaction of knowing that you're running a business, that you built a business. It's almost like having a child. Sometimes I think the children's a little bit easier because you take the kids with you when they're infants. The business kind of has to stay at the business. You can't put it in the car seat and it go with you. You have to kind of leave it with you, but it needs nurturing. It needs taken care of. It needs grooming. It needs raising. It needs to be thought out of what it is that you're doing. Well, some challenges that people say that you may do as an entrepreneur, which I don't think these are challenges, especially the long hours. God, I love them. I love working. I can't wait to get up in the morning and be a green industry entrepreneur. It's the best thing in the world. My wife gets on to me all the time. Eric, I never see you. I'm like, just come to the shop. Come to the office. Because it's where I want to be. Cash flow and payroll. Yes. Like I said, we've all been there where we have to watch money go in on Thursday night so we can make payroll on Friday. Here's another challenge that people state. Overwhelming responsibility. Man, I love it. I do the best when I'm under the gun, when I'm under pressure. Give it to me. I feed off of it. It might kill me as a young man. I'm 47. I plan on doing this another 30 years. But I love that responsibility. But I think the hardest thing that we face as an entrepreneur is finding those key employees and being able to retain them for a length of time to really get something good out of them. Employees is always going to be our toughest thing. Now, people always say, I don't want to hire somebody that's going to be my competitor a little bit later. No. I would hire those individuals all day long, because somebody that wants to start their own green industry business, they are going to work for you, and they're going to give you the hours that you need right then and there, because they want to learn. They want to absorb as much knowledge as they can before they step out on their own. So hire that young person that wants to start their own business. Give them to me all day long. I'll work them for 5 years, and I'll teach them everything I know, because I'm not training them to be my competitor. I'm training them to be my colleague. They may be a subcontractor for me one day. That's what you got to look at. And then paying taxes. Can always depend on Uncle Sam sticking their hand out. And sometimes cash flow might be a little bit slow, especially for us. I mean, look at it. We're coming through January, February, March. Then there's tax season. We didn't do as much work those 3 months. But you gotta plan for that. You got to plan for your taxes. And we'll talk more about that when we get into lectures about business entities, whether you're set up as an LLC, C Corp, and those things. But then knowing the government regulations, I think that is an opportunity, not a challenge, especially with these municipalities that require certain size trees, certain regulations on plant materials, certain regulations on irrigation, the inspections, the permits, the plans that you've got to submit. People are like, I'm not working in that town because you got to do all that. I'm like, bring it to me, because I'll figure it out. And I won't have to worry about anybody else wanting the same type of work. Bring me those government regulations. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. Guys, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about what we do here at Turf Teacher Incorporated.
Eric the Turf Teacher Jones. Oh, yeah! Teaching you life lessons, business strategies, and leadership.
Let's grow together.
If you're needing irrigation, landscape, or pesticide credits, check out my website at turfteacher.com. Every Tuesday evening at 7 p.m., we host Turf Talk Tuesday for pesticide credits and have online courses for both irrigation and landscape contractors. There are also several opportunities to get your credits at one of our seminars that we do throughout the southeastern United States, and information on our Christmas lighting course. Check it out again at turfteacher.com. All right, so now you know what Turf Teacher Inc. does. We do offer continuing education for both landscape and irrigation contractors, as well as pesticide applicators in North Carolina. But with our pesticides, we're also teaching in South Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia, Florida, Pennsylvania, West Virginia. So we're having a lot of fun doing those every single Tuesday night on Turf Talk Tuesday. But let's jump back in to tonight's episode about having a business plan. We're going to talk about the benefits of having one. They're going to give you 3 things that you can use in your business. One is a planning tool. Kind of sit down throughout the year. I love being able to figure out, hey, I want to get 50 new clients this year for my lawn care division. I want to get 100 new clients. I want to pick up 200 mowing clients. You got to have a plan, guys. You do. And the business plan helps you do that. Not only does it help you plan for financial, but it kind of gives you a goal. It's like writing down goals. I love people that write down their goals and they check them off. But before you have those goals, you got to have the little steps in between, right? checking off the list. And let me tell you something. When you write something down and you see a check mark go beside it, psychologically, it makes you want to keep going and doing a whole lot more. So do it. Write it down and check it off. This document can also help you get a loan at the bank. If you're saying to Mr. Banker, I want to get 50 yards this year. Let's say you're brand new and you're starting off. You're brand new and you're starting off. If you do the business plan, let's just say on mowing. You've got a truck. You need to buy a trailer. You need to buy the mower, maybe a push mower as well. You need a couple weed eaters, a couple backpacks. You need a backpack sprayer or a handheld sprayer. You know, the general maintenance stuff that we're going to be doing, a fertilizer spreader. You're going to be taking care just of turf grass. You're not going to get into landscaping yet. Because like I said, you need to have companies within your company. Your lawn care, your mowing division, or your lawn maintenance division. There's a difference between lawn maintenance and landscape maintenance. There is. Landscape maintenance is the pruning, the pine needling, tree care, shrub care. Let's just say you're going to focus on lawn maintenance, just mowing. You need to have that business plan for that. And you go into the bank and you show them, hey, if I get 50 clients this year, blah, 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 I've got the truck paid for, I need a trailer, I need a couple weed eaters, a couple blowers, a couple mowers, and things of that nature. And you show it to them, and it's all on paper, and you say, if I get 50 yards, I'm going to make this amount of money this year. And if you're interested in this stuff, this is what the Podscape's about. We're going to talk later on in future episodes about calculating your turfgrass program. And the last, but I think probably the most important one, it's a benchmark. You can see where you're at. When you write stuff down and when you plan it and when you almost get there or you don't get there or if you surpass it, you know exactly where you are. And you know where you're at when it comes to making changes. The business plan. So what's inside of a business plan? Well, you got to have a cover page. It's got to be all neat and pretty because if you're going to show it to the banker, you're going to go down there and sit with Mr. or Miss Banker, and you're going to be like getting all nervous and sweaty, and you're swallowing. You got that lump in your throat. You got to make sure that it's all neat and clean. They're going to open up that cover page, and they're going to look at that executive summary. That executive summary is the only thing that the banker is going to read, whether or not they want to do business with you. If they read your executive summary and it sucks, they're going to throw it in a trash can. They're going to say, nice talking to you today, Mr. Jones, but unfortunately at this time we're not going to be able to loan you any money. If they read that executive summary and they're like, they own to something, they're going to continue reading the business plan. You got to capture their attention with that executive summary. It's written last, but it is the first page that they read. So it's, turn the cover page, there's your executive summary. You're going to have a company summary. You're going to have a products and services page. What is it that you're offering your clients? You're going to have to do some kind of analysis of the local market. Who's in there? Who's your competitor? Who's your biggest competitor? What is your niche market? What is it that you're going to offer that nobody else does? And you think that's kind of hard in the green industry? No. There's room enough for every one of you to find your niche and perfect it. And then you need to have your financial plan. We're going to look at these individually. So the cover page is going to have contact information and a confidentiality statement about your business. You need to have a nice logo. And we're going to get Lee Smith with Titan Graphic Works on one night. And we're going to talk about logo design, truck lettering, business cards, things of that nature. That's Lee's expertise. He owns Titan Graphic Works, and his father-in-law is a big-time landscape contractor here in the area. So Lee gets pulled into it. When I first met Lee at the college, because he teaches graphic arts, he's like, yeah, man, we got to push snow tonight. I'm like, man, what's he talking about? And I didn't think nothing about it. I think maybe he's going out, doing it for himself or whatever. And when he told me who his father-in-law was, I'm like, dang, dude, I've known this guy my whole life. Small world. But Lee is perfect when it comes to marketing. He does all of our graphics for Turf Teacher and Elite Landscape Contractors. Then your executive summary. It's after the cover page. It's the highlights of your business. And it's got to capture the banker's interest. Or maybe you're not going through a bank. Maybe you're going through a personal investor. You've got to capture their attention. It's everything summarized that's in the next few pages. Then you're going to read your company summary. This is going to have your vision and your mission statement. I've got a 1-hour lecture on my YouTube page about vision and mission statements, guys, and we'll talk about it in future episodes. It's got to have your legal structure. That's your business entity. Are you set up as a sole proprietor, an LLC, a C Corp, or an S Corporation? And I love the C Corp. Wouldn't run my business any other way. Then you're going to list your management personnel. Who is it? It may just be yourself, and that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Then the location of your business, and then what types of facilities that you're using. You may be working out of your garage, perfectly okay. You may be renting some garage space somewhere, or you may be at one of the storage places. They allow landscapers to park their trailer there. But all of this needs to be in the business plan because it's costing you money if you're renting somewhere. Your services that you offer, what is your specific service? Let's say you want to do 100% electric equipment. Electric mower, electric weed eater, electric blower, electric backpack sprayer. They're out there. That could be your niche market. Who are your suppliers? Where are you buying your products? Are you using any subs? Probably not this early on in the stage. But the idea is if you're taking a business plan for this lawn maintenance division and you build up to where you want to do landscape maintenance or landscape management or even landscape construction, then you're going to have some subcontractors. How has technology affected your business? It should have boosted it with social media and everything that's out there. The electric mower, that's technology. Computers, that's technology. LMN software, that's technology. Is there any expansion opportunities for you? You may be in this one localized area of town, but you may want to expand out into a bigger city or the neighboring county. There's nothing wrong with that. You may have an opportunity to buy into a franchise system. That is an expansion opportunity. What's your market like? What is your target market? Who are you going to go after? Are you going to go after the homes that only have 5,000 to 8,000 square feet of turf grass, which are my favorite? Or are you going to go after large acreage mowing? What are some trends that's going on in the green industry right now? Well, let me tell you what that is, because COVID has hurt a lot of businesses, but it has really boosted the green industry and the construction industry because people are staying home. They're not going on vacation. They're doing a staycation, and they're hiring landscape contractors to do outdoor patios, to do outdoor kitchens, to do fire pits, to have that grill outside because people are scared. They don't want to get the virus. They want to stay home. And so they're taking that money, and they're making their homes a lot nicer because they're stuck there. Who is your competition? Well, if you're just starting out, it's not going to be the big companies. It's not. It's going to be people just like yourself, but they're your colleagues. They're not your competitors. Where are they at? You got to study them. Yes, you got to get in your truck and you've got to drive through the neighborhoods and you got to see what's going on. How are you going to get new customers? What is your strategy? What is the uniqueness of you? What is it that you're going to do that is going to make people say, wow, I got to hire him or her? You got to come up with a pricing. And I hear this all the time. And it really, really drives me crazy that when people say, you know what? I wouldn't cut a yard for less than $50. I'm like, really? All right. How many people you got working for you? I got 2 employees, Eric, but I tell you what, I won't step out of that truck for less than $50. All right. Well, how long does it take? Well, if somebody's paying me $50, I'm going to be there 25, 30 minutes. And you got 3 people. But I swear I won't touch a $25 yard. Okay, why? I just won't. Well, what do you do after you cut that $50 yard and it takes you 30 minutes? Well, we drive across town. It takes about 20 minutes to get over there, and You know what? We can cut about 5 or 6 a day. Wow, hey, man, great. That's awesome. I'd rather take my one-person or two-person crew, probably a two-person crew on mowing, yes. But, I mean, there's a whole nother philosophy of having one personnel mowing crews. But you take 2 individuals in a truck that can cut 10 $25 yards in an hour. Think about that. That's $250 per hour times 8. Pretty productive day. Smaller yards, stay on the same street, eliminate windshield time, route density. That's what it's called. So tell your banker, yes, I want to go after, I'd rather have $525 yards than half of that double the price. I mean, I really would. I'll be done a whole lot quicker because they're going to be one after the other. How are you going to advertise this? How are you going to get these clients? And then what promotional strategies are you going to use? And guys, it needs to be the device that you're probably listening to this podcast is your phone. You need to be posting and getting your clients and educating your clients on the benefits of why they need to hire you. And that, my friends, is not 25% off the first mowing. It's educating them on why they need to be doing this to their turf grass right now. Why do they need the soil test? Why do they need the lime? Why do they need the pre-emergent crabgrass control? Educate the client, and when they turn to you for the education on what needs to be done on their properties, they're going to hire you. Trust me, they don't want to hear nothing about a percentage off because that's what every other green industry pro is doing this time of year. You need to be educating them on why you need to come by and do the soil test and get some lime on their yard. And then we move in to that financial plan. You got to have the balance sheet, an income statement. How much money are you going to make with this? If you were to get 100 clients this year, say you're starting from nothing and you get 100 and you're cutting them for this amount of money. Let's say you do, and they're all $25 yards. Well, that's $2,500 a week. That's $10,000 a month. You're going to work for them probably 7, 8 months. Let's say 7. That's $70,000 a year. Not bad for the first year, right? For you, yourself, and I. But they've got to see it on paper. What is your cash flow going to be like? If you're bringing in, 100 yards a week at $25, and you'd probably get done on Wednesday if you started on Monday, to be honest with you. But what is that cash flow like? You got to show the bank that you're going to be able to pay that loan off that they're giving you. And what is your financial projections going to be? What is your profit going to be? So, guys, do you see the problem if you don't have a business plan? I think the most important part of it is having that benchmark tool. Where are you at from that dream, that goal that you had? Laying in bed, wide awake, your wife is over there snoring, and you're thinking about, how am I going to pay the bills? Because that's what we do. As a man, that's what I do. I mean, I worry all the time. I want to take care of my family. Put it on paper. And that's what your business plan is. If you don't have that business plan, you're not going to have anything to guide you and to grade you. I'm a teacher, right? I'm guiding you through the process, but I'm grading you at the end. That's what a business plan does. But make sure you're painting a true portrait of your business. Don't make any projections that are unrealistic. Keep the language simple. The bankers don't want to hear all this green industry jargon. They don't want to hear botanical names of plants. They don't. They want to see numbers. And make sure you cover all the risks as well as the opportunities. And let them know that you're going to be a good client to them. That you're going to pay the loan back and that you're going to be a profitable, sustainable, and successful landscape company. Guys, I want to thank you so much for joining us here on this episode. And you know what? I'm going to see you in the next lecture. For more landscape business expert advice, check out golmn.com/blog. And once again, a massive shout out to LMN Software for sponsoring this podcast and making it all happen. LMN is the most comprehensive landscape business management software in the industry. From budgeting, estimating, customer relationship management, time tracking, and so much more, it's the true do-it-all tool for your landscape business and provides a platform to scale your company to the next level. And the best part about LMN is that they have a free version which you can use today if you choose to. Just visit golmn.com/free to learn more and start taking advantage of the software that's helped me grow my business into a successful, sustainable, and profitable company. That's golmn.com/free. And thanks again, everyone, and I'll see you in the next lecture. And that wraps up this episode of the Podscape. Thank you so much for joining us here, guys. I love each and every one of you. Life lessons and landscape lectures brought to you by the Turf Teacher and LMN Software. We'll see you in the next episode. Turf Teacher out.